Welcome back to my channel, Let's Talk Tiyanna. Today I'm bringing you a 20-minute HIIT workout. So in the beginning, it's very different when you work out outside. So breathing is very, very important and just warming up your body. So this will be a 20-minute HIIT workout. I will warm you up and I will warm you down. So getting started, just reaching high to the sky, touching your toes, brushing them, just getting all the blood flowing. That's just going to be really important before we go into the main exercises. You want to just stretch up as far as you can and go all the way down and touch your toes. Everything is going to be concentrating on breathing and just really stretching out that body in the beginning. You want everything to work before we get into the hard stuff. Now we will be going into knee raises, and just take your time with these, especially if you are not really balanced. Just grab a wall, grab a chair, something to hold on to while you do these. But these are really good for stretching out your hamstrings and just getting yourself all aligned. So I try to do probably like, I want to say 30 seconds on each side, or just 10 per each leg, just to really warm my legs up and stretch out the hamstrings before we get them to work. And now we're going to be doing the inchworm. This is one of my favorite exercises because it really includes the whole body. It's going to strengthen your arms, your chest, your upper back, your lower back, your abs, and increase your balance and stability. So I try to do this 10 times. So just take your time when you're going down. Make sure you just stretch those arms out as far as you can. If you could do a push-up, do a push-up. If not, just go right back up. Just really try to control your muscles as you go up and down. You don't want to move too fast. And now we're moving into our leg kicks. I call them straight leg kicks because they're going to really be working your hamstrings and just getting you ready and prepared for all of the workouts that we'll be doing later. It's really working on your lats as well because you're lifting and raising your arms and contracting your abs. So it's just really warming up the whole body for just reducing risks of injury for when we do the squats and lunges and things of all that sorts. It's just going to warm you up. Here I am just kind of lifting my knees a little bit. If you're the type of person that can't really get your legs to go all the way straight, these work just as well. They work just fine. So you can do these as well, and just take your time while you're doing it. Make sure you're breathing. Here again, we're kind of doing the same thing, except we're just kicking back. This is going to warm up the glutes, warm up the hamstrings, and also warm up your quads. So just take your time, make sure you put both hands on the ground and kick straight back. Make sure you're breathing, coming up very slowly, making sure that you are completely balanced. You do not want to fall or kick something the wrong way because it does not feel good. Here I'm just moving my arms. These are considered arm swings. Some people will do something a little bit different and do shoulder rotations. These work best for me. Do whatever you like. Anything that's just going to help you warm up your back. Especially if you're doing anything that's going to involve heavy lifting, you really want to make sure that your back is warmed up, your shoulders, your arms, all that good stuff is warmed up just to prevent injury. So just me swinging my arms just to get my arms warmed up for all the push-ups that we'll be doing. We're going to be moving into toe touches. Again, working on the hamstrings, working on the back, working on our rotation, just making sure we're able to move. All of our joints are working together and we aren't stiff when we're working out. Here you want to just do this for, I want to say, about 30 seconds. Take your time, make sure you're breathing when you go up and down. And here is when the fun begins. We are going to start jump roping. Make sure you set your timer for 2 minutes. We're going to do 3 rounds of 2-minute jump rope. Don't deteeter if you mess up, because I mess up a lot during jump rope. So just take your time, make sure you're breathing. Do not jump too high. Try to keep your feet really low to the ground and just go. As you can see, sometimes I like to have a little different footwork than others. It just helps me when I'm breathing. So if you jump straight up and down, that's perfectly fine, but get your own rhythm. Again, make sure that you are breathing. This can be a little bit challenging for people, especially if you're doing it outside like me, or if you're doing it in the gym. Just trying to control your breathing and make sure that you're just taking your time while doing this. It can be a little bit challenging for newbies. Alrighty, now we're getting into the fun stuff. So push-ups, we're going to do 3 sets of 10. Make sure that your arms are evenly spread apart. I like to say probably a little bit more than shoulder width apart, and just go all the way down. Sometimes when I'm wearing a hat, I like to try to make my hat touch my mat, but you know, just make sure you go all the way down. Make sure you're breathing, make sure the tummy is tight, make sure your butt is not high, make sure your whole body is just leveled out. Alrighty, come back and stretch a little bit if need be. And this is the modified version. If you are not good with regular push-ups, definitely work your way up to doing regular push-ups. I started here actually myself. And if you just get tired, just go straight into modified push-ups. Just make sure you're continually trying to finish the 3 sets. And if you need to take a break, because I definitely took plenty of them. Shake your arms out, and let's get right back into it. And I think we are done with the push-ups now. Just take your time to breathe a little bit. Here we're doing body lunges now. Make sure your legs are spread apart. You can put your hands on your knee, you can put it on your waist, you can put it on your head, whatever makes you feel comfortable. We'll be doing 3 sets of 10. So yes, as you can see, when I step back, I try to even myself out, elongate my body. I'm a little taller than most women, so yes, you just want to make sure that your knee is not passing over the front part of your toe, and that everything is evened out and you're aligned. That is the biggest part when it comes to lunges. People do not align themselves correctly and they cause injury, and that's what we won't be happening today. As you can see here, I'm just pulsing a little bit. I tend to do that just to really focus on the glute area, because that is the part that we are working on. So just take your time, make sure when you come up you're squeezing, just to work on those hamstrings as well. And make sure that you're stretching in between all of your workouts, especially something as what we just done. It's really important to make sure that you do this. A lot of people skip out on stretching, but I do not. Now we're going straight into the body squats. We're going to do 3 sets of 10, making sure that your legs are a little bit out, shoulder width apart, going all the way down, a little bit past your 90-degree angle. As you can see, I go a little bit below where my knees bend, and I go straight up and squeeze. Take your time doing these. Make sure you're breathing when you come up. Make sure you're finding your balance. I like to stick my hands straight out in front of me just to make sure I stay balanced. Again, make sure you're breathing, especially for me, I'm outside. It's terrible. It was hot and very muggy this day. Make sure we're going down, coming straight up, making sure you're breathing, making sure you're squeezing those buns. Keep that tummy tucked in tight. Take your time. If you look at my feet, you can kind of see that I kind of have them a little pointed outwards. That's just because it's easier for me to get all the way down to the ground without falling over. It's all about balance, so make sure you have your feet either pointed straight or you can have them a little bit spread out like how I do. But just make sure you have enough space to where you can get all the way down while keeping your back straight. Okay, mountain climbers. So we're going to be doing 30 seconds, 3 sets, making sure that we are tapping our toes and trying to get those kneecaps up to our chests as far as possible as we can. Make sure that you're breathing. Make sure you find your balance. Just make sure you're taking your time. Try not to have that butt too high, but just enough to where you can move your knees to the front of your chest. Here I am kind of tapping left and right. If you cannot move as fast, or if you cannot get your knees all the way to the top of your chest, just take your time and kind of tap to the sides. It's still going to get the same amount of effort being put into it, and you're still going to feel the burn. Here we are taking a water break. Make sure you hydrate. Do not pass out on me. Do not drink too much water. And now we are going to do our warm down. I like to take my shoes off from our warm downs just because I like to really feel my toes and make sure everything's stretched out. We are working our feet. We're standing up every day, all the time, and working out. We need these things to work perfectly. So just kind of lay out and stretch a little bit. Make sure we're stretching your back, your arms, your shoulders. Point those toes, stretch your toes out a little bit. This is one of my favorite warm down stretches. As you can see, I also bought myself a resistance band. This one is on the medium, I would say the medium resistance. This is just going to really help me stretch out my hamstrings. I like to use this because it kind of pushes me to, go a little bit further than I normally can without using the resistance band. But if you don't have one, you can still do the same thing. Just hold your leg as if you didn't have one. We're just going to pull this down as far as we can go. Make sure your other leg is leveled out. Make sure your hip isn't coming up off the ground. Everything has to be this one. You're going to stretch it out to the side a little bit. Stretch out our hamstrings because they were just working very, very hard. Squeeze our legs to our chest and move it over to the other side. We're going to stretch that back out. Just make sure you're breathing in and out, relaxing. Make sure you have your arm opposite of your leg, stretching out the other way, and you're looking the opposite direction. And we're going to do the same thing to the other leg. Just make sure that hip is leveled out. You do not want that hip coming up off the ground. Make sure you stretch both legs. Alrighty. As you can see, the band is allowing me to pull my leg and be able to stretch it more than I normally would be able to if I just was holding it on my calf. So again, same thing, stretch your leg to your knee. And just hold it. You can count down from 10. And bring your leg to the other side. Same thing as the last time. Stretch it out. Look the opposite direction. This is really going to help with your lower back, your mid back, and your hips. Again, make sure that you are breathing. Stretch your hands up, stretch them all the way down. Everything that I do here for my warm-ups are going to be based off of yoga poses. They just work best for me, and it really helps with my back's flexibility. This one here is called the open lizard. So all you're going to do is put your leg in front of you and try to stretch it down as far as you can. It's going to really open up your hips. Like if you have really tight hips, I have really tight hips. So it's going to open it up and allow you to stretch it as far as you can. Kind of pull that other leg back with the opposite hand, and this is really going to stretch your hamstrings, your glutes. It's also going to stretch your hips as well. This is one of my favorite stretches. All we're going to do is take it downwards now. So you're going to just take your head to your knee and stretch it out. This is really going to help the back of those legs. A lot of people have tight hamstrings after a workout, and it's really going to help with that. And we're just going to do the same thing to the other side of our leg. Again, start with open lizard. If you need a little bit more support, you can put your hands on the ground or put it on your knee, whatever works best for you. But we're really just focusing on opening those hips, and grab the other leg with your opposite hand and really stretch out those hamstrings, those quads. Moving down into head to knee, stretching it out. All of these help to just kind of get you on your way to almost doing a split actually. But that's for another day. So thank you for watching. I hope you all enjoyed, and visit me again on Let's Talk Tiyanna with another workout video. Comment, like, and subscribe.